My name is Dr. Denis Kiawi. Born and raised from Cameroon. I was born in Bello, it's northwest of Cameroon, in a tiny village called Jichami. That is where I grew up. And growing up from a Christian-based family, family of 9, and right now 8. My brother died, so may his soul rest in peace. I grew up in a well-cultured Christian family where we were taught the true values of humanity, and we were taught how to respect people and give back. And all these core values that were instituted in me by my parents, who are still alive today, I've been able to carry it throughout my life and make me myself where I am today. My parents, this year we will be celebrating his 92nd birthday, and this is something that I'm looking forward to actually see and actually celebrate. Now, I grew up, got my primary school certificate in CBC Bello, and then I went to Yaoundé for my secondary school education. I went to GBHS Tukebe, where I met my lovely wife, and today we are happily married for 10 years. And then after my high school, I went to CAS Bambili and got my GCE advanced level certificate. And then after that, I wanted to actually explore the world and travel and actually get to know other parts of the world. And that's how I found myself in Germany. Now, why did I go to Germany? I went to Germany because I already had my siblings that were living in Germany, and also because Germany was one of the countries with top technology in the kind of field that I was going in for. And what was I trying to study in Germany, actually? I was trying to study medicine, because we all know in the country growing up, we had mostly just 3 careers, right? You could either become a medical doctor, you could either become a teacher or a lawyer. And of course, I was not dreaming far from that. Growing up, I wanted to become a medical doctor. I ended up being a doctor, but not a medical doctor anyway. But that's how life brings you. Now, once I got my A-levels and had to travel to Germany, I spent a few years studying German language at the Goethe Institute in Yaoundé, where I did 6 months to a year of German language, Certificat Deutsch, ZDAV. Moved to Germany, and when I got to Germany, I had to spend a few more years to get the German language C3 level in order to enroll into university. By the time I was done with that, I was kind of really fed up in doing what I wanted to do. I started medical informatics, University of Heilbronn, south of Mannheim in Germany, in Baden-Württemberg, the state of Baden-Württemberg. There, I finally moved up into the field of biochemistry because I studied medical informatics. It didn't work out. Why did it work out? Because once I graduated with the German language, I had to wait a few more months to effectively get over that. But I went into biochemical engineering, got a bachelor level in biochemistry, and then got a master's to study chemical engineering in university in Nancy, École Normale Supérieure des Études in Nancy, where I've always been passionate in traveling. So I went to Nancy, spent 2 years in Nancy to get my master's degree. And in the course of my master's degree, I did a few internships in Bordeaux and a few more in Deventer, north of Holland. That is where, when I was doing my bachelor's degree there, I got the position to study astronomical chemical clusters in the University of Nancy. Now, in the lab, I was studying the formation of molecules in the star and how to use that to depict the creation of life in the universe. And I could use that with some chemical, quantum mechanical calculation to depict how molecules are formed in space and how their radiations can be measured through an infrared study. Did that for 5 years and worked in the lab, studying all this cluster, wrote a lot of articles, published a lot of books, and defended my PhD. And then my wife had moved back to Europe and we were living together. We got our second daughter, Sylvia, in Germany, and we wanted to settle and moved to the US. Now, moving to the US, that just shows you my journey of traveling from one country to another and learning other cultures and understanding how all these different cultures actually influence your life. Now, we finally settled here in Houston, Texas, where I started a career in informatics, IT in particular. Because one thing that I realized throughout my PhD and working in the lab with other students is that I needed to find something that would have a direct impact in people's life. I needed something that I could easily share the knowledge. And what I was actually doing in the lab was very rewarding, was very fulfilling, but it didn't give me the opportunity to be able to share the knowledge out with my own community, with high-level stuff, and I needed something that I could easily pass down that knowledge to them and actually help improve their lives. And in the US, even back in my days in the lab, I had already realized that data was the new oil. That's where everything was going to. That's even in the field that I did a lot of my calculations and seeing the importance of data for my field of work, I saw a niche in data. And I started database administration. So KiawiTech is actually comes out from my the core values that were instituted in me growing up as a child, where we were taught the idea of giving back. Now, because I already have in mind of how to always looking for a way to give back, even back my friends that know me back in college will always tell you that whenever I learn something new, I always wanted to share. I always wanted to find someone that I can teach that. I've been a teacher for a long time, even though those who know me will tell you that I'd always said I will never be a teacher. But now when I finally moved to the US and I was looking for something that will actually help me transfer this knowledge back to my community, help people who, I saw a lot of people that they were looking for ideas in actually orienting themselves in this field of IT. Figure out how to get in, which career to take, where to start, and how someone that will demystify this to them. And that's how KiawiTechIT Academy was born. KiawiTech in the making. New arrival. We're gonna hit it. We're gonna make it. All right. God be my helper. We're gonna make it. KiawiTech, here I come. I wanted something that will help give this knowledge to the people at affordable rate and demystify IT for them. Well, I will tell you that in the beginning, we started off KiawiTech with just 2 candidates. I had just 2 students. I started up in one of my basement back in San Antonio with a friend, where I was working as a database administrator and actually doing this teaching. And from two students who will come in, and I will teach them what I was learning at work. I'll teach them the new skills that I've gathered. And from there, I was able to place them in the job market. And then the news spread from there. We were able to graduate one batch after another and one batch after another. And then from there, it gradually grew. It grew to a point where right now, as we speak today, we train in a year more than 500 people and we place them in the job market. Of course, I encountered a lot of challenges from the beginning. I will tell you that one of the first challenges that you will encounter in this field is the accessibility of knowledge that you actually, someone that will actually guide you. Because just like any ordinary person who might want to join a field like this, may not really know the right path to follow. And having a proper orientation on the right thing to do and the right skills that actually sell out there was a big challenge. And also, being able to come in the field that was highly competitive and being able to market yourself and prove the point, it was not very easy. And of course, the resources were not there. Being able to gather all the resources to get all the licenses that are required for a training like this was not always an easy thing. But we thank God that today we can proud ourselves to be one of the leading IT training institutions in the United States of America in terms of database administration and cloud computing. Well, my greatest fear was actually getting out of my comfort zone. I didn't just, I was a scientist, I was teaching in the lab, I was mentoring other people. So I had already a career, but being able to leave that career and start something new was one of the biggest challenges. And a lot of fears because of the fear of the unknown, not knowing what is there, not knowing whether this new venture that you're going into is really worth it, not knowing whether it's worth abandoning over 10, 15 years of career behind you to start something new. I would say it was not an easy decision to take, but I'm so proud that I did that. And I couldn't have been more proud of myself to have done anything than doing that, just that. When I look back at every given time that I feel like giving up, when I look back at KiawiTech's achievement and the lives that we change out there, it gives me the reason to keep going. Now, for every single trainee that we train and place in the job market, there is no price tag that you can put on that. Now, what I tell my friends is always like this. It takes a village to produce one database administrator. Now think about it. You take people that practically have no IT skill and walk them all the way through till they're able to secure high-paying job. It is not an easy thing. But sometimes it's very, very challenging, especially when it comes to training adults. I always tell my friends, adult education is one of the most difficult education. Not because these adults are not smart, not because they cannot get it. It's just because when you grow old and you get to a certain age, priorities do change. You have families, you have to take care of them, you have bills, you have other things that you're taking care of. So it becomes extremely challenging to actually train them. But one thing I can actually tell you that every single soul that we're able to transform, it's priceless. And one of the few things that makes me actually keep going, sometimes my trainees do ask me, what makes you keep going? It's that call when a trainee calls you and that excitement, that life-changing moment where you know that that person's life will never ever be the same. Because what we're doing here is not just about giving you a job. We are actually changing not just your life, but generations down the line, because there are so many people that are depending on you. There are so many people that are looking up to you. But when your life changes, you will be able to also impact the lives of other people that are depending on you and also the community that you belong to. So this is, to me, one of the most fulfilling jobs that I could ever imagine myself doing, because not only do I train individuals, we believe that communities are completely empowered when each individual gets a job and is in a position to give back. Yes, so one of the life-changing stories that really touched me really hard was one of my trainee, an elderly lady that went through this training, was a mom of about 4 kids, and not French, for French speaking, and most of the people that were in her batch would have believed that she would never make it. And because of her perseverance, because of her dedication and consistency, she was able to make it through successfully. And that actually brought us to the KiawiTech formula, where we have a formula right now in KiawiTech. It's determination plus consistency and hard work always leads to success. And I think that this lady actually applied all this. And at the end of her training, she was able to secure a job. And today, she's one of the top database administrators out there, making a 6-figure income. And that's somebody that I'm extremely happy about her, because not only did she face a lot of challenges, she was a mom, French speaking, and of her age, most people in that category would have already given up. Well, in my wildest dream, I could not actually imagine that KiawiTech would what it is today, but deep inside my heart, I wanted it to be. And I knew that the only way that we could actually achieve this is through hard work. It's through a lot of perseverance, being patient, and being consistent in every single thing we do. Our success story did not just begin today. I mean, like I said, our first batch in KiawiTech had just 2 students, and today we train hundreds of students in a year. But this is actually been as a result of timeless effort that we've actually put into place to make sure that we achieve what we have today. And I'm so happy, I'm so glad that I'm able to witness this, that I'm part of this story, and couldn't have been more proud. Well, in the next 10 years, I expect KiawiTech to be one of the leading IT providers out there, not just a training school. Well, we do train. Right now, we do train, and we do successfully place these people in the job market. But guess who? Who benefits? It's not our community that really benefits. I mean, we do have some benefits in this whole thing, because lives are impacted and people who depend on these lives get impacted. But the greatest change would have really been if these people that we train are able to transfer this knowledge back into our communities in such a way that it have a direct impact. What do I mean by that? Now, when we train a trainee, that trainee leaves and gets a job and works for corporate America. Well, our community does benefit from that. But I'm hoping that we get our trainee to a point where these trainees will be in the position of power, where they can impact change in the corporation. Because Africa being it where it is, I'm always referring to Africa because that's where I am, even though our trainees are all over the world, but Africa being in the position where it is, needs people of power, people that can impact change, people that can take decisions in their industries to be able to bring this technology back into Africa and transform life. And that's where I see KiawiTech. I see KiawiTech in that position where we are able to train these people, place them in the job market, and also move some of these jobs that we have here moving to other countries into Africa as well, being one of the top IT resource providers in Africa, and why not in the world. That's how I see it. Well, one thing I will tell everyone that has an interest in joining IT, because truth be told, right, not everybody was supposed to do IT, right? Not everybody will want to do IT, because, I mean, if everyone does IT, who will be the medical doctors and all those things? We still need people who will treat us. But this message actually goes to those that IT resonates, that feel that they can join this field, and they have been lacking behind for one reason or another. One thing I want to tell you is that you will never experience your full potential unless you get out of your comfort zone. Some people stay in their comfort zone because they're afraid of the unknown. They're afraid of change. And I always tell my trainee, change is the most challenging decision that you ever do, especially for people that are already comfortable. So I will always say, give it a try. Be daring. Try to get out of your comfort zone. And you will see this in even the trainees that we train, because we try to push them beyond their comfort zone by telling them, even though you've gotten a job, it does not mean that you've made it. It's just the beginning of greater things. Look for more. Get out. Try to get more things. And when you've accomplished so much, you will be able to help those who are not in that position, because not everybody is so fortunate. So I'm going to tell everyone that is looking at me today and wondering if this thing could actually be part of you, I will say, give it a try. Give it a try. Be comfortable to get out of your comfort zone and try it, because you will experience your full potential once you get out of your comfort zone. Well, one thing that we realize throughout our training is that there are a lot of people out there that really want to take our training, but find it so difficult because of their financial constraint. We also have a lot of people in Africa that would really like to take this training, but because of the high fees, they are unable to venture into that. Now, with Kiawi Foundation, with the knowledge of giving back and empowering community, we've realized that these people need a helping hand. And we've been able to partner and give back through the foundation to help struggling trainees, those that have financial need, to be able to take this training. And I'm so glad when I see someone that took our training, was not able to, but got a scholarship, got this training, went through it, and was successful and get a job at the end of the day. And we've had hundreds of them like that have done through for the course of the time that we've been training. And this is thanks to the collaboration that we're doing at the Kiawi Foundation. And at the Kiawi Foundation does not only focus on training students that are in KiawiTechIT Academy, we even go as far as giving basic IT skills, like the recent program that we just launched, computer literacy. Computer literacy will literally not give you the jobs that we train you at KiawiTechIT Academy, but it will position you at the level where you are able to either pick the next training and go through it successfully, or just be computer literate. Because we fully understand that in today's era, an illiterate person tomorrow will be termed as somebody who has no computer background, and we can't afford to see you be labeled like that. And that's why we partner to make sure that IT training or finance, like we always say, finance should never be a reason why somebody is not taking our training. We have understood that IT is a fast-changing field. It's a fast-paced changing field. And this requires individuals to constantly improve. And that's what I always tell people. If you are somebody that does not like to continuously learn, you may want to rethink if IT is really the right thing for you, because technology is always changing. And we've realized that, and that's why we bring in weekly webinars. Now, during weekly webinar, what we do is that we bring in people who understands the state of the art out there, who brings in the latest technology to be able to make sure that once you're part of this community, that you are constantly being informed of the latest technology. We bring in top IT personnel that gives lectures, that mentor people, that create that needed networking, and also on some webinar we give lectures on financial education, because we do believe that when you go through all this training and you suddenly find yourself making that huge income, you should be able to understand how to manage that world, that newfound world. And that's where we also go as far as not just giving you IT skills, we give you also financial education in weekly webinars. So weekly webinars is something that we hold so dear to our heart, because we believe that with weekly webinar, not only do you get a job, you stay current with the latest technology, you're able to keep the job, and also you learn skills that you need to survive in this our digital era. One of the few things that we have identified in the course of our training is that if you train somebody for 6 months and you send them out there, the chances of them getting a job are close to zero, because most of the trainees that go through this training were not in corporate America. We're not working in the corporate world. So they lack a lot of skills that are required to be able to succeed in the corporate world. And because our training is already highly intensive, we don't have time to train you throughout that 6 months. Now, I begin to wonder because sometimes I see a lot of training institutions out there that rush this program in 1 or 2 months and expect these trainees to get this job and keep it. At KiawiTechIT Academy, what we've realized is that these trainees need more than just that time in class. And that's where the mentorship program comes in. The mentorship program is there to give you the soft skills that you need in order to succeed in today's market. They need you the soft skills that you need to be able to market yourself and position yourself in a highly competitive market. Now, also during this mentorship training, we help you understand how to negotiate. A lot of people do get jobs and they just don't negotiate their salary. And I tell everyone, when you don't negotiate your salary and you go into a job without negotiating your salary, you are losing at least $10,000 worth of cash. And that is money that you are not able to gain once you're in, because negotiation is only done when you're on the door. This is the kind of skills that we give to you during the mentorship program. Not only do we also help you with your resume, we looked at your resume and see how do you write a resume that shines? How do you present yourself? When someone tells you, tell me about yourself. How do you sell yourself? We give you a so-called elevator speech where you're able to sell yourself within a very short period of time and make sure that recruiters see you marketable. And these are kind of things that we do during the mentorship program, because we've seen that most trainees, when they leave this training, they have the skills, but the soft skills and how to market themselves is completely missing, and that's what we bring in there. Now, once they get the job, we don't leave you there. We have the after training support we still give you by putting you in a KiawiTechIT Academy community. This is a community of like-minded individuals, people who have gone through similar training or who have just seen this vision and are inspired and have decided to join us because they want to be part of this community. With this community, you are able to join our weekly webinars. You're able to join events like the recently organized summit, where we brought in a lot of top IT providers and top IT personnel out there under one umbrella to be able to exchange ideas. These are some of the benefits that you get by being part of this training. And these are things that you need once you get the job and you're already out there. You need people that already understand your struggle, people who are there to support and make sure that once you get a job, you are able to keep it. I always tell my trainees this: get a job, just get us a job, and we will help you keep that job. Thank you so much, and I do hope that my story did inspire you. And if you are out there looking at me and wondering if you can ever make this move, I will tell you, you get to give it a try, because there's a lot on the other end. You got to get out of your comfort zone and make sure that you explore your full God-given potential that is there on the other side. And you're looking how to reach us. We are a phone call away. Our phone number is here on the chat. You can visit our website or call us. We will have one of our mentors who will sit down with you and give you a well-educated advice on what fields to take, so that when you are joining the IT field, you don't just join because your friend got a job. You're joining because you are well-educated, so you're taking an educated decision. Thank you so much, and I look forward to seeing you in one of our events or in one of our trainings.